Hey guys, welcome back to Auto Detour. My name's Ryan, and today we are just down here in Bend for a guys weekend, and one of the guys brought over his 2008 Porsche Cayenne Turbo. So let's just take a quick walk around it here, look at the stuff on the outside. We'll go over a few of the features on the inside, and we'll take it for a drive. So just come on over here. This is a 2008, like I mentioned before. It is a 4.8 liter twin turbo V8. Comes from the factory with 500 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. Absolutely just a beautiful SUV. Much more attractive than the previous body style in my opinion. And it is so much value for the amount of performance and horsepower for the money. You can find one of these in pretty nice condition for right around $20,000. And I cannot think of a better vehicle that has 5 seats, that you get 500 horsepower and you can still just drive on an everyday basis. It has air ride suspension that is adjustable, so you can raise it and lower it. I'll show you the controls on the inside. This is a beautiful black example. It's got black on black, so it's got black paint, it's got black wheels, and it has the black leather interior. So come on around the back here. We can see the Cayenne Turbo comes with the dual outlet, dual exhaust, which is a very aggressive look for an SUV. You can see how low the Cayenne sits in its lowest ride setting.
The Cayenne Turbo came from the factory with a 19-inch wheel or an optional 21-inch wheel. This particular one happens to have 22-inch wheels on it.
As we move around back, we have the signature Cayenne Turbo, which is a dead giveaway for the Turbo. And this one looks just absolutely beautiful. It's got the tinted windows and the black. And let's hop in, take it for a ride, and see how it handles. Alright, so if you're not familiar with Porsches, their ignition is actually on the left side of the steering wheel, which takes a little bit getting used to. I've driven a couple other Porsches before, and I can't tell you how many times I've gone to put the key in on the right side of the steering wheel. So that does take a little bit of getting used to. Let's go over a couple of the features on the inside here. If you look down at the control panel here, it does have four-wheel drive and all the locking differentials of a true four-wheel drive, which is kind of silly in a sport SUV, but it does have it, and I suppose it's a nice feature to have if you need it. We also have sport mode, and we have our shock settings. We have comfort, normal, and sport. And we also have our ride height settings here. We can lower it here, or we can raise the ride height here. Moving up to the gear selector, we have our standard park, reverse, neutral, drive, and you can also push it over into manual mode and use the Tiptronic controls on the steering wheel on your thumb controls here. All right, let's fire up this beast. Okay, so we're gonna get it out on the open road here and see how it handles. We're gonna go ahead and put it in sport mode and sport suspension mode. All right, and let's see. Whoa, the throttle is noticeably more sensitive in sport mode. So we're gonna put it 3, 2, 1. Whoa, there we go. Wow. Woo! Yeah. But, whoa, let's slow down a little bit here. So, similar to the Raptor, this is big enough that it's deceivingly fast and you don't really realize how fast you're going until you look at the speedometer, but pretty slow off the line. Once it gets up around 3,500 RPM, those turbos, woo, yeah. Turbos really kick in and take off. Oh, feels pretty planted around the corners. So this particular Cayenne has about a $3,500 option called PDCC. It is Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control. And what that does is it makes sure that the SUV stays level in the corners. So it actively stiffens up the outside to make sure that you can stay as flat as possible around the corners. Which, when you're dealing with a heavy SUV, that is definitely a nice feature to have. And I can't imagine trying to toss this thing around some corners if it did not have that option. The low profile tires on the 22s really give it a nice feel on the road. Steering is a little light, not quite as much road feel as you would like, but it still is a nice feel. It's not overly heavy either. You hear a little bit of turbo spool there. I like that. We're gonna kick it over into manual mode and use these Tiptronic shifters. See if those things are any good. Alright, here we go. Let's try out this Tiptronic shifting. Whoa! Yeah, it's quick! Now the shifts in manual mode are not quick because it is still an automatic transmission. But goodness gracious, this is a 5,600 pound rocket ship. That is very impressive. Alright, so I want to show you guys just what I'm talking about with the slow takeoff here. I'm going to tell you when I floor it here. So, got my foot to the floor, and there it goes. And when it goes, it goes. And you can hear the rush of that. The turbo's just forcing that exhaust through the exhaust. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, you can hear the rushing exhaust sound from the turbos, and it is very obvious when they kick in this car. Now, the car certainly goes, but it is also backed up by tremendous stopping power. It has 14.5-inch rotors in the front, stopped by 6-piston Porsche calipers. And it is so much fun just to drive this thing through these windy mountain roads. And you almost forget that you're in an SUV. Now, some of the cool things about the four-wheel drive on the Cayenne is it's not your average four-wheel drive, just you put it in four-wheel drive and it shifts the differential and that's it. This one actually has locking differentials and has the ability to put 100% of the power to any one of the wheels that may need it in an off-road situation. So you're not sitting there with one tire off the ground spinning. And another really neat feature is the sway bars on the Cayenne actually disconnect in low range up to 20 miles an hour, so that you actually get more torsion out of the suspension in an off-road situation. That's really neat and sort of silly on a Porsche, but still cool. I am very impressed with the amount of performance you get out of an SUV. The amount of power you get is pretty staggering. 500 horsepower, 18 pound-feet of torque. In a Porsche, for around $20,000, the value is just unbelievable. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for my review on the 2008 Porsche Cayenne Turbo. My overall impressions, I'm super impressed with this SUV. It was a lot more fun and a lot more exciting than I was expecting, which I love that. I love a car that exceeds your expectations after you get in it and drive it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to hit that red subscribe button. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time.